Hello.
Check, check.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Representing His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you are very welcome to the African Medical Center of Excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Your Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, representing His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and welcome to all the assembled dignitaries, too many to mention. Welcome to Professor Benedict Oramah and your amazing efforts in bank team, for this is a dream manifest. Dignitaries, the doctors from here in Nigeria and from around the world, and to all of you watching from far, welcome to the official inauguration of the African Medical Center of Excellence. Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, you've always been a powerful advocate for quality healthcare for decades. And what you're about to see through these doors is beyond quality. It's world-class excellence. Today marks a historic milestone in the advancement of healthcare, not only in Nigeria, but across the entire African continent. So, Your Excellency, I invite you to make history by kindly cutting the ribbon, thereby officially opening and inaugurating the African Medical Center of Excellence. As you do so, you usher in a new era of healthcare excellence, hope, and healing for our nation and for our continent.
It's my singular honor and privilege to, on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, ACMR, to commission this wonderful edifice, African Medical Center of Excellence, constructed by the African AfCFTA.
the shores of the motherland and far beyond. With dignity we rise and we build a bridge for all. With integrity, respect, trust, excellence, commitment, creativity. We will build for Africa's prosperity. We will build for the now and posterity. As we standing together, we prepare to forever. We are transforming Africa straight. Oh, we are uprising. We will build for Africa's prosperity. We will build for the now and posterity. As we standing together, we prepare to forever. We are transforming Africa straight. Oh, we are uprising.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mark Omorawa Oluwasegun Edo. Yes, I'm home. And it's my profound honor to serve as your master of ceremonies for this historic occasion. I have to begin by observing protocol and paying tribute to the distinguished leaders whose vision and commission have made this day possible. Now, as I look around this room, there are so many friends and familiar faces that I'm not going to be able to call everyone because we'll be here all day. But I think it shows the commitment to this project that so many great people here have turned up to witness the inauguration. Now, first, I welcome with the highest esteem His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, representing His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I also recognize definitely deserves a round of applause. It's a privilege also to recognize the visionary that is Professor Benedict Oke Oramah, President and Chairman of the Board of Directors, African Export-Import Bank, and his lovely wife, his inspiration, Mrs. Chinelo Oramah, whose steadfast support has been instrumental to this project. You cannot do it without her. His Excellency Namadi Sambo, former Vice President of Nigeria, is always a great supporter to AfCFTA. He's here today. His Excellency Senator George Akume, Secretary to the Government of the Federation of Nigeria. Honorable Wale Edun, Minister of Finance of Nigeria. Honorable Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, Minister of Health and Social Welfare for Nigeria. We also have his equivalent from Tanzania, the Minister of Health from Tanzania, Honorable Jenista Magama. Also welcome him. I also noticed the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. He's not on my list, but I will welcome Olayemi Cardosa. And also the Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Area, the AfCFTA. I notice over there, His Excellency Wamkele Mene. Greetings. We warmly welcome honorable current and former ministers, ambassadors, AfCFTA executives, and other private sector leaders. It must be noted there's a very big delegation from King's College here, led by Professor Graham Lord. King's College has been instrumental to making this day happen. Give them a robust African round of applause. This achievement is also made possible by the unwavering commitment of AfCFTA's partners. The Bank of Industry, BOI, under Dr. Olashupo Olushi, has provided critical funding, critical financing, and policy support. And they've ensured that this project aligns with national development goals. Dr. Lushi, your leadership at BOI has steered transformative economic initiative, and today we witness another one. And a special mention goes to NNPC Limited, represented here today by Mrs. Sophia Mbakwe, who's the Executive Vice President for Business Services. With your support, NNPC, you have again demonstrated that Nigeria's energy sector is also a force for social good, investing in initiatives that create jobs, that build capacity, that save lives. Your belief in this project, all partners' beliefs in this project, has helped turn vision into reality. A round of applause, please. I'm also told that there are many governors here, and His Excellency Senator Hope Uzodimwa, the governor of Imo State, is also here. He's also, of course, the chairman of the All Progressive Congress Governors Forum. Welcome him. Now, what we witness today is not just the opening of a hospital, but the birth of a new chapter in African healthcare. Now, for decades, the people of Nigeria and the people of our continent have struggled with limited access to world-class medical treatment. The exodus of our brightest medical minds and the heartbreaking reality of medical tourism that drains both our finances and our hope. Now, let this day mark the end of Africa's doctors and dollars hemorrhaging to the West and other parts of the world. Today, as the ribbon has been cut and the plaque unveiled by His Excellency Vice President Kashim Shettima, representing His Excellency President Tinubu, we stand at the threshold of transformation. The African Medical Center of Excellence is more than just a building. It's a beacon of hope, a fortress of innovation, and a promise to every African that world-class healthcare is within reach. Now, please turn your attention to the screens as we take you on a wonderful virtual tour of the African Medical Center of Excellence. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Eh? Now let's get on very quickly with the program because there's a lot to get through. When I asked this first speaker why, after decades at the top of the healthcare profession in his home country of the United States of America, I said, why did you invest the final act to coming to Abuja to involve yourself with this? He said with passion, he said, I have 5 children, 4 girls, 1 boy. He said, I want this to be the crowning glory of my career, so I can say to them, your daddy was part of this. So please welcome the man at the helm of this great center, the CEO of the African Medical Center of Excellence, Mr. Brian Diva.
Six children, by the way, 5 girls, 1 boy. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President and Executive Vice Presidents of AfCFTA, Honorable Ministers, Senators, Your Excellencies, Heads of Mission and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and my friends, welcome. Good morning, and on behalf of the entire team behind the African Medical Center of Excellence, it is my distinct honor and relief to welcome you all here this morning. Today marks a milestone, not just for us here in Abuja, but for the entire African continent. What we are commissioning today is more than a hospital. It is a commitment. It is a promise that world-class, cutting-edge healthcare is not something we have to leave Africa for. It is now right here. Homegrown, African-dreamed, African-built, and soon African-renowned. We're deeply honored by the presence of so many esteemed guests. Your presence underscores the weight of this moment. The African Medical Center of Excellence, this beautiful, high-tech, purpose-built facility, is the result of vision, collaboration, persistence, and more than a few sleepless nights. This is where engineering meets compassion, where precision meets empathy, and where patients will meet a new standard of care, one defined not by borders, but by excellence. We thank AfCFTA not only for financing and driving this transformative project, but for believing that Africa deserves not just good, but great healthcare. We thank King's College Hospital of London for their clinical leadership and training partnership. And we thank our gracious host, the federal government of Nigeria, for its unwavering support throughout this journey. To all the engineers, architects, clinicians, administrators, board members, and unsung heroes who have helped to turn concrete and vision into compassion and care, this day also belongs to you. As we walk through these halls today, may we not only admire the shiny machines and elegant spaces, but contemplate the lives that will be changed, the pain that will be eased, and the hope that will be restored within these walls. And if at some point you feel a bit emotional, and you may, or just a bit cold, it's the air conditioning. We set it to London weather for our UK friends, and you're welcome. Now let us celebrate this moment. Let us commit to protecting and growing it. And let us never forget that what we have built here is not just a hospital, it's a statement. Africa can, Africa will, and Africa has. thank you, and welcome to the African Medical Center of Excellence.
That's the CEO. Give him one round of applause, please. Brian Diba. Now, this project was first dreamed up in 2014 and is expected to serve over 350,000 patients over 5 years as it evolves. All this wouldn't be possible without the support of our strategic partner, King's College London. Now, we go to London now to hear from the Chief Executive, King's College Hospital NHS Foundation Trust, Professor Clive Kay. Roll it.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I stand on existing protocol. I am sorry I'm not able to join you in person today, but I would like to offer my congratulations to AfCFTA, the investors, Brian Diva and the executive team, and the entire staff of the African Medical Centre of Excellence, in partnership with King's College Hospital London, on reaching this milestone, the official opening of this state-of-the-art hospital here in Abuja, Nigeria. The establishment of this facility and the partnership that brought it to life is an important step forward. It will significantly elevate the quality of care available to patients and generate meaningful employment opportunities within the region, creating a long-lasting impact for communities and the healthcare sector at large. From the outset, King's has been fully committed to supporting this vision. Our clinical leads, nurses, support service teams, and King's Commercial, some of whom are with you today, have worked hand in hand with AfCFTA, and the AMC executive team. Together, we shaped the clinical services strategy, developed the blueprint for care, and created a robust quality framework that places patient safety and excellence at the centre of every service. We are proud that King's is the first NHS organisation to form a partnership of this nature in Nigeria. We're equally delighted to be working alongside our NHS colleagues at the Christie NHS Foundation Trust, whose world-class expertise in oncology is a vital part of this collaboration. Combined with King's expert advisory support across hemato-oncology, cardiology, pathology and radiology, we are confident that this partnership will greatly strengthen the delivery of high-quality, evidence-based care for non-communicable diseases. At this point, I would also like to extend our sincere thanks to the Head of State, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, and the Federal Government of Nigeria for their support, including the provision of land and other critical enablers. The board and management of AfCFTA, under the visionary leadership of Professor Benedict Oramah, for championing this strategic project. The board and management of AMC Abuja, which will lead operations in partnership with King's. The co-equity investors, the Bank of Industry Nigeria and the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, for embracing this transformative vision for healthcare. And to all the consultants, contractors and partners whose dedication has made this vision a reality. We were honoured to care for Professor Benedict Oramah at King's under the expert attention of Professor Ghulam Mufti, and now through this centre, his vision for world-class treatment in Africa is becoming a reality. Our commitment does not end here. We remain actively involved in supporting the Centre of Excellence through knowledge sharing, quality assurance and education and training opportunities. Together, we will continue to strive for the highest standards of care. Thank you for celebrating this incredible achievement today, and I look forward to witnessing the continued success of the African Medical Centre of Excellence.
That was Professor Clive Kay, Chief Executive, King's College Hospital, NHS Foundation Trust. Your Excellency, you saw that he mentioned a certain name there, Professor Ghulam Mufti. He is the Professor of Hemato-Oncology at the King's College in London, and his vision has been instrumental to making this happen. Please welcome Professor Ghulam Mufti.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, distinguished guests, I stand on existing protocol. I think this one is from the heart, because this one is an example of why it is so important to have a dream and why it is so important to pursue a dream. Because in the end, the dreams do come true if you have that persuasion, and this is that dream. And I will illustrate this with my own history. I come from a little place in Kashmir, in Srinagar, at the foothills of Himalayas. I had a dream to go to United Kingdom, where there was the best training for medicine. I was fortunate enough to pursue the dream to go to Oxford and then to Hammersmith Hospital, part of the Imperial College. And then I moved as a consultant to King's College Hospital. And at King's College Hospital, there is a very dominant Afro-Caribbean society. And I've been at King's for 25 years plus. And I started to develop the affection for Africa, its continent, its people, its culture, in my DNA. And I and my wife started thinking we should do something for Africa. And 2013 happened. I received a phone call to say that a particular president-to-be of a bank is very ill. I didn't know the name of the bank. I didn't know the name of the patient, and the patient arrived. Patient was, I would say, very ill, moribund. And with the grace of God and with the expertise that is available at King's College Hospital, we were able to achieve a cure of his leukemia. And then, about a year afterwards, nearly a year, which was 2014, Professor Benedict Oramah came to my office, accompanied by his wife Shanala, to say, this has been a life-changing experience for me, and we want to do something for Africa. What should we do in the healthcare sector? And there was a lot of emphasis on communicable diseases. And he will remember that we had a discussion about non-communicable diseases. So this led to the creation of a vision helped by PwC and others to look at the incidence and prevalence of various diseases across the continent as well as in Nigeria. And we then began getting a team together, and we were very fortunate to have, firstly, King's College Hospital and its board, under the then leadership and chairmanship of Sir George Alberti initially, and then Lord Bob Kerslake, who were equally committed to the project. And that led to a collaboration, a solid collaboration between King's College Hospital and the project that we started to devise. And we started to devise it with two wonderful colleagues, one from United States in the form of Professor Onitello, who is the Director of Cancer Center at Marshfield Center in Wisconsin, and Dr. Anwarul Haq, who has been pivotal in some of the genetic services that were provided throughout UK and works at King's College Hospital. And there was also quite a lot of support from King's College London, which is the university. So we quickly decided that we needed 3 E's, and these 3 E's are pivotal. The first E is the expertise that we need to have. The second E would be obviously the equipment, which you have seen on the picture just now. And the third E is the estate. So we started to devise a strategy around these with the help of an enormous number of people from Exim Bank, from a whole host of people in Abuja and abroad. And this led to us focusing on 6 areas. 1, cardiovascular disease and its treatment and prevention. 2, cancer and its treatment. Treatment not only with radiotherapy, but also with chemotherapy and immunotherapy, so as to get state-of-the-art treatment for this disease. 3rd, treatment for hematological diseases, not just for hematological cancers, but also diseases like sickle cell disease and other hematological diseases. And also diagnostic setup, so that we provide state-of-the-art diagnostics, both at DNA level as well as in the radiology and other investigations that can be done for which patients travel abroad. The final 2 points of this vision were, 1, to have research and innovation, and that is still being developed, and I'm delighted to say that we have Professor Graham Lord and Professor Funmi Oloniski from King's College London, 2 senior vice presidents of the university, and they are helping us create a nursing school and hopefully a medical school after that, which will be part of this, and that will embed teaching as well as research in this area. So I think for me, it's been a journey, and in this journey, there has been another part of King's College, which is King's Commercial Services, and all the people that work there, to whom I have given a hell of a lot of headache over the years, and they have been absolutely amazing. In particular, I would say Professor Anil Devan, who is a professor of pediatric liver disease, one of the famous professors of pediatric liver disease in the world, and he has been pivotal in helping us establish some of the facilities that are here. In summary, I think we have begun to create one of the best centers in Africa, and hopefully this dream will lead to further innovation with interest from pharmaceutical, biotechnology companies, and this will become a training hub for all other hospitals in Nigeria and in West Africa. So I'm privileged to have been part of it, and I'm privileged to continue to be part of it. As long as I have a breath, I will continue with striving and working and serving Africa. Thank you.
Professor Ghulam Mufti, OBE. Give him a round of applause, please. King's College, London. Now, one of the great peoples of Nigeria are the Hausa. A wonderful, amazing culture. And the Hausa have a greeting here. And I apologize for my pronunciation, but God loves a trier, right? So I'm going to give it a shot. Kanalafia. Kanalafia. It means, in English, simply, are you in good health? And if you think about it, all around the world, health is a foundation for almost every greeting, every day, because health is wealth. But to truly appreciate the significance of today, we must acknowledge the challenges that have shaped our journey. Now, across Africa, only 48%, roughly half of the population of Africa, has access to essential healthcare services. Here in Nigeria, in my beloved country, our health sector faces a triple burden: a reliance often on foreign aid, the migration of our amazing, skilled, incredible professionals, doctors and others, and a rising tide of non-communicable diseases, cancer, heart disease, and blood disorder. Now, the African Medical Center of Excellence is a direct response to these realities. It's a bold, strategic investment that will revolutionize healthcare delivery, reduce medical tourism, and stem the brain drain that costs us so dearly. It's a facility with so much impact. Take a look. Roll the video.
African Medical Center of Excellence, a defining moment in healthcare delivery in Africa. The AMCE is a strategic investment in world-class capability to address the burden of non-communicable diseases, the capital flight of medical tourism, and the exodus of skilled professionals.
The African Medical Center of Excellence is a world-class tertiary healthcare institution based in Abuja, Nigeria, and with the intent of transforming the medical landscape in West Africa. The project has been designed and built by AfCFTA and some international, leading international experts with the intent on providing expert cardiovascular, oncological, and hematological care, as well as general medical services to support those three main specialties.
Initiated by AfCFTA in collaboration with King's College Hospital London, supported by the Government of Nigeria, key investors and stakeholders. AMCE is pioneering a sustainable healthcare ecosystem for Africa, by Africa.
The African Medical Center of Excellence is an audacious undertaking designed to redefine healthcare investment with investments already in excess of $400 million.
AMCE will demonstrate Africa's medical infrastructure and prowess and position Nigeria as a leading hub in specialized healthcare.
One of the strategic missions of the African Medical Center of Excellence, and this was a specific goal of AfCFTA, was to not only slow the outmigration of the very, very skilled Nigerian medical professionals to other parts of the world, but to bring them back home. And with the technology, with the clinical expertise, with the financial resources, and with this incredible structure that we have here, as well as some other programs, we've been very successful in our global recruitment of bringing Nigerians back home. Anywhere you go in the world where you find leading healthcare institutions, you will find at the very top circles of the medical professionals, Nigerian doctors and nurses. They are some of the best in the world. We're bringing them back home.
AMCE will harness the latest technology, including the first 18 MeV cyclotron in Nigeria and West Africa, along with research and training to set new standards for medical excellence, with hospitals planned across Africa, beginning in Abuja.
It's been over 10 years of consistent dedication, hard work and focus. I remember in 2014 when I joined the bank, and this idea was at the nascent stage of conceptualization. And it's really a very bold and audacious idea to develop world-class medical facilities across the continent. It was born out of the personal experience of our president and chairman of the board of AfCFTA, Professor Benedict Oramah, and his desire to ensure that health security for Africans is guaranteed.
AMCE will deliver life-saving care to over 350,000 patients in its first 5 years, create 3,000 jobs, stimulate intra-African trade in medical services, and strengthen critical supply chains in healthcare and pharmaceuticals across the continent.
I'm delighted to say that the way the hospital has been put together, it will provide state-of-the-art services for cardiovascular sciences involving all aspects of interventional cardiology, cardiological diagnoses, oncology services, including radiotherapy, as well as immunotherapy. And in the hematology context, it will provide bone marrow transplantation, and importantly also more novel forms of therapy such as CAR T cells, and also have a research collaboration that will begin to look at how the continent can rid itself of diseases such as sickle cell disease.
AMCE's renowned consultants, medical practitioners and staff will bring a wide range of international experience and academic affiliations. AMCE will also prioritize dedicated training programs for African health professionals.
The AMCE represents more than just brick and mortar. It represents a vision and commitment to transforming the continent's healthcare landscape from within. It is Africa taking its destiny in its hands. We can no longer afford the status quo. Too many Africans have to travel abroad for specialized medical care. The financial burden, the emotional strain, the foreign exchange costs, and the heartbreaking reality that many lose their lives simply because they cannot access timely and quality care. And these are consequences that we can no longer accept. The AMCE is our response.
AMCE is committed to putting patient care first. The AMCE logo is inspired by the herbs and plants of the continent, representing pride in African medical capability, reflecting a philosophy to empower well-being by realizing outstanding patient care outcomes and accessibility. AMCE will be at the forefront of biomedical research, dedicated clinical trials in Africa, AI-driven predictive health models, and will collaborate with global institutions, including King's College Hospital, London.
Overall, this particular institution will provide state-of-the-art healthcare in the selected tertiary specialties, not just for Nigeria, but we think for the whole of Africa, and it will help bolster the research and investment from biotechnology and pharmaceutical companies, as well as other private investors.
AMCE is also making a difference by delivering community impact in Nigeria with outreach to underserved communities and educational programs. AMCE is delivering economic impact by creating over 3,000 jobs and ensuring sourcing from local suppliers in Nigeria.
Respect African professionals deploying world-class solutions. You know that the African Medical Center of Excellence in Abuja is not just a medical facility. It is a legacy, a living legacy.
AMCE Abuja's strategic vision is to become the region's medical hub by pioneering a sustainable medical ecosystem of specialist healthcare.
One of the great things about having a Frexen Bank as our sponsor and partner is having the resources available to do this project right. And by right, that means we, from the very beginning, brought in the top experts, healthcare consultants, the top engineers and architects, the top building contractors and subcontractors, and of course we extended that by recruiting the top hospital administrators, top clinical experts. Now, the purpose in that is to create literally a center of excellence, one that will change how healthcare is viewed and how it is delivered in Nigeria and in West Africa.
This hospital, this facility is a life-changing investment for the people of Africa, wherever they may be. And the Frexen Bank is proud to be championing it.
This is about more than just healthcare. This is about self-determination. This is about Africa rising, not in theory, but in practice, through institutions that empower our people and secure our future.
I feel like a woman who has been pregnant for over 10 years, been in labor for maybe more than 2 years, and finally you've had the baby, and such a beautiful baby, bringing hope to the world. I feel fulfilled.
It's just amazing.
African Medical Center of Excellence, a defining moment in healthcare delivery in Africa.
Look at that, look at that, look at that. Amazing. Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, we're going to hear from you at the end, but I just want to take an aside to say that I see you even writing down things like this, because I know how passionate you are. You are probably one of the best people to cut that ribbon, because I recall years ago visiting you in Borno State. I think Wale Tinubu from Rwanda was with me at the time. We gave a courtesy visit. And the things this wonderful man did in Borno State when it comes to healthcare, I don't know if all of you know. He didn't just talk change, he made it happen. He rebuilt 50 primary healthcare centers, 9 general hospitals, and even delivered the state's first hospital dedicated to women and children. He put health at the center of what he did, right? Health, so I know that this sort of stuff is very interesting for you, and you're also passionate about it. Now, before we hear from you, we're going to take some very brief goodwill messages. I will ask, because of the time, these are very wonderful people who I'm going to call on, but I would ask them to keep it punchy and brief, please. So, because we have a lot to get through. Now, first, for the first goodwill message, please put your hands together. Representing Dr. Jean Kaseya, Director General of the Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention, is Dr. Tajuddin Raji, Acting Deputy Director General. Give me a round of applause.
Thank you, Director of Programs. Your Excellency, the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, representing His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, the President and Commander-in-Chief of Nigeria. Your Excellency, Madam Samia Suluhu Hassan of Tanzania, represented by my sister, Right Honorable Jenista Magama, Minister of Health of Tanzania. Excellencies, ministers in the room, Excellencies, senators in the room, royal fathers in the room. I bring you greetings from Dr. Jean Kaseya, His Excellency, the DG of Africa CDC, who couldn't be here with us this morning. Let me begin by congratulating Afreximbank under the able leadership of His Excellency Professor Benedict Oke Oramah. Today is your day. Let me also seize this opportunity to congratulate our colleagues from King College London, and much more importantly, the federal government of Nigeria for this magnificent project, what I describe as a beacon of transformation for healthcare in Africa, and one of 5 such centers of excellence across the 1.5 billion people, 55 member states on the continent of Africa. Today, we are commissioning these centers of excellence, which is a bold vision for Africa, a world-class healthcare facility right at our doorstep, a symbol of our collective resolve to reimagine health system on the continent of Africa. With expertise in oncology, cardiology, and hematology, this center will not only treat patients, it will also create jobs, it will build capacity, it will go into research, it will go into innovation, and it will also dive into what I describe as precision medicine, leveraging artificial intelligence. It will reduce medical tourism, and it will generate and keep financial resources. Today, we are seeing overseas development assistance declining. We've seen 70% of such decline in the space of a few years, and we're also seeing rising debt servicing obligation of more than 80 billion USD for the continent of Africa. And your excellencies, the health sector is the hardest hit as far as this evolution of development assistance is concerned. Africa CDC is deeply impressed by the infrastructure, as we are all seeing on the screen. And in that regard, Africa CDC under Dr. Jean Kaseya has approved the designation of Africa Medical Center of Excellence Abuja as Africa CDC Centers of Excellence for Research, Innovation, and Capacity Building. Your Excellencies, Africa CD is committed to not only celebrating this milestone, but ensuring that the Center of Excellence is seamlessly integrated into the continent health security architecture. We welcome the AMCE plan to build partnership with other African institutions. And in this regard, we offer you the platform of the Africa CDC, a continental public health agency that sits within the intergovernmental political organization called the African Union, meaning that we are putting at your disposal 1.5 billion people, 55 member states. To conclude, Your Excellencies, let me commend again the leadership of the African Medical Centers of Excellence, the commitment of the different partners in the room that have made this happen, and much more importantly, the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Together, we can build healthier, prosperous, and innovative Africa in line with Agenda 2063, the Africa we want. Excellencies, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Before I call on the next speaker, I just want to note His Excellency Dr. Emmanuel A. Akabe, who is the Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, is here. Give him a round of applause, please. Now, as you've seen, this project is an African-driven project, but it's not driven alone. It's driven with a great support from the UK. You could call it an Afro-Saxon project. I will just make that word up. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why I'm calling up the next guest. The next speaker, guest speaker, he is His Excellency Ambassador Richard Montgomery, CMG, British High Commissioner to Nigeria. Give him a round of applause, please.
I was going to say good morning, but I think we're just into good afternoon. Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, Honourable Ministers, Governors, very distinguished guests. Brian, I think you've managed to marshal the great and good of Nigerian society. Congratulations. But please allow me to stand on protocol already observed. I just wanted to say it's a huge, huge pleasure to be here today, to add my goodwill. And my congratulations particularly to the President of AfriExim Bank and to the members of the board of the Africa Center for Medical Excellence, and to Brian Deaver and his team and all the medical staff that have been working hard to put this institution in place. And Professor Mufti, it's wonderful to see you again. Very heartwarming speech. Thank you very much for telling us a little bit about the personal inspiration behind this institution. And I fully agree with the comments that others have made. This is an amazing transformatory initiative institution. It's going to reduce the medical brain drain, but more importantly, it's going to create a medical ecosystem that's going to attract people to come back, but also wider benefits in the wider health system. And I'm really delighted to talk to the medical director and the staff who are running this institution earlier this morning. I think you've done an amazing job to get to where you've got to today. Now, as His Majesty's representative from the United Kingdom to Nigeria, of course it would be remiss of me not to say that I'm just incredibly pleased and delighted that the UK institutions are involved. King's College, Hospital and University, but also the Christie NHS Foundation Trust, who have brought not just expertise to the design of the hospital and the care regimes, but also a lot of heart, as we heard from the professor earlier. And building this medical center so quickly is such a huge achievement. But I'm also really delighted that today, as part of the proceedings, there is a signature of a new MOU to create a medical and nursing school here in Abuja with the partnership with King's. And I think that deserves a round of applause. Because of course, sir, this is a legacy. You are creating a legacy, but it's one thing to build one institution, it's another to build the human capital and the medical professionals, doctors, nurses, and other specialists that will become a big feature of this institution in the years ahead. As I told visiting teams from King's and Christie's last year, this partnership is happening at an incredibly important time. It's happening at a time when Nigeria is really on the move. It's on the move because of the big economic reforms that are being driven by His Excellency the President of the Federal Republic, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's also being driven in other areas of society and economy. And I've been looking out for the Honourable Minister, the Coordinating Minister for Health and Social Welfare. I think he may not have been able to make it, but the reforms which the Honourable Minister Mohammed Patti is driving in the health sector is also an area of, which needs a great deal of applause. But before I end, I just wanted to say, on behalf of His Majesty's government, this initiative also stands for something that's happening more broadly across the relationship between the UK and Nigeria. It's that for longer term relationships, for longer term, more sustainable and respectful, equal partnerships, we need to see more collaborations, as we've seen from King's and Christie's and the African Centre for Medical Excellence. And I know for a fact that there are more announcements in the coming months about UK universities working with counterparts in Nigeria to set up new partnerships here. And I hope that what we're seeing here in the ACME is the start of a trend of creating these bigger partnerships between institutions in the UK and other countries and Nigeria. So let me end by just repeating my sincere congratulations to everybody that's been involved in this transformatory project, and my congratulations for the additional partnerships that are being signed today. And I'm just really personally delighted that what we're seeing today is that British institutions are part of the ecosystem of the new institutions being built in Nigeria at the moment. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, His Excellency Richard Montgomery from the British High Commissioner to Nigeria. Now, the African Continental Free Trade Area holds the hopes of 1 billion Africans in its hands to transform economies and connect Africa, break down borders. You'd be hard-pressed to find an individual, or at least a bank, an institution that has been more impactful to the AfCFTA than Afreximbank in multiple ways, too many to mention. And they've worked in partnership with the African Union and with the African Union's AfCFTA Secretariat based in Ghana, in Accra. We're so happy to have the Secretary General of the AfCFTA Secretariat with us today in person, not via video. He's right here. Please welcome His Excellency Wamkele Mene.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Your Excellency, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably representing President Tinubu, Professor Benedict Oramah, Chairman and President of the Board of Afreximbank, Mrs. Oramah, your presence here today as the leadership of Afreximbank, the leadership of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, underscores the importance of this event today. It is an honor for me to be here with you today representing, as an elected official of the African Union, representing the African Union. I join others in congratulating Professor Oramah for your vision, the government of Nigeria, King's College London, the various professors and doctors who have been involved in ensuring that this day, this vision becomes a reality. Your Excellencies, the AfCFTA is available at your disposal as the African Medicine Center of Excellence to ensure that we succeed in breaking down barriers to trade in health services, to ensure the movement of health professionals seamlessly across our continent, so that this center becomes a shining example, not only in Nigeria, but across our continent. All of the tools of the African Union, all of the tools of the AfCFTA are at the disposal of this center to service, of course, not only Nigeria, but also to service the entire continent. The African Medicine Center of Excellence commissioning, it is a living testament to what Africa can achieve when we harness our collective vision and we deploy the necessary resources to ensure that that vision becomes a reality. We confronted the COVID-19 pandemic, and Professor Oramah was requested by our heads of states to be one of the co-champions defeating this pandemic, laying a very strong basis for continental revival and resilience after COVID-19. It is therefore befitting that today he is concluding this task that the Assembly of Heads of States and Government of the African Union gave him by opening and commissioning this center to serve our continent in the imperative of public health. As I conclude, let me once again recommit the AfCFTA Secretariat, recommit the African Union to supporting this initiative and its rollout throughout the entire continent. And I urge all of us to deploy all of the tools that are at our disposal. You heard earlier from our colleague from the Africa CDC, the AfCFTA Secretariat, and other agencies of the African Union are here to support this very important initiative of the public health of Africans. Professor Oramah, as you draw a conclusion to your marvelous career, I cannot think of a better milestone, a better achievement at the top of your career. I thank you for your attention. I wish all of us very good discussions. Thank you.
Your Excellencies, the President of the Republic of Tanzania is a trailblazer. She's one of only 2 women heads of state in the whole of Africa. And she's a real pioneer, President Samia Suluhu Hassan, for women's rights, for women's and children's health. And also, another thing that's quite important is gender balance. She's very, her cabinet is very well gender balanced. There are a lot of women right at the top there, and I think that deserves a round of applause, because I'm going to invite, representing her, the Minister of Health from Tanzania. Please welcome Honorable Jenista Joaquim Magama.
Thank you. Your Excellency, Vice President for Federal Republic of Nigeria, Honorable Ministers, governmental officials from Nigeria, President and Chairman of the Board of Exim Bank, Exim Bank, Professor Benedict Oramah, Professor Gulamu Mufti from King's College from London, development partners, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed, and a good afternoon to you all. I take this opportunity to thank Almighty God for this day, and I feel honored, humbled, and privileged to be here in Abuja today, representing Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, at this historical event to commission the first African Medical Center of Excellence. On behalf of the government and peoples of the United Republic of Tanzania, I would like to extend the warm greetings and congratulations to the government of Nigeria and all parties who are involved in making this vision reality, especially the AfCFTA and the King's College Hospital from London. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the government of Nigeria in strengthening the cordial relationship that exists between the government of Tanzania and Nigeria and the whole Africa. Your Excellency Vice President, the African Medical Center of Excellence is not just a national milestone for the Nigeria, but also a continent beacon of hope, innovation, and resilience in the health sector. This center symbolizes a shared African vision of self-reliance, regional integration, and strengthening health system in line with the Agenda 2063, the African we want. Distinguished guests, the health is a cornerstone of social and economic development, and today's event marks a bold step toward transforming Africans' capacity to address complex health challenges like the increase of both communicable and non-communicable diseases. Distinguished guests, Tanzania celebrates this achievement alongside with our Nigerian brothers and sisters and commit ourselves to continue support in fostering health cooperation across the whole African continent. As African, we are strong together, and I believe the center will save not only Nigerian, but patients from across the whole African region. Let us view this center as a platform for exchanging medical expertise, training professionals, and advancing research in oncology, cardiology, and other critical health challenges. Distinguished guests, I commend the federal government of Nigeria, as well as AfCFTA and the King's College London, and all stakeholders for this bold investment, and let this serve as inspiration for similar investment in other parts of Africa, including Tanzania and other nations in Africa. Distinguished guests, once again, on behalf of Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, I thank you for the invitation and warm hospitality extended to me and my delegation. May the African Medical Center of Excellence grow to become a flagship of Africa's transformation in healthcare delivery in Africa. Congratulations again, and congratulations to all involved. Asante sana, and thank you very much. God bless Nigeria, God bless AfCFTA, and God bless Tanzania. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, representing President Samia Suluhu Hassan, Honorable Jenista Joaquim Magama, all the way from the great nation of Tanzania. You're welcome. Now we bring it back home. I'm delighted to invite our Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please welcome Mr. Adebayo Adewale Edun.
Thank you very much, Mark, and good afternoon. His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, ably represented by our dear Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, the Governor of Imo State, and the Chair, Nigerian Governors Forum, Senator Hope Uzodinma, and I think we have the Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State here with us, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, Your Excellency, the former Vice President, Senator Namadi Sambo, GCON, and also we have former governors here, former Governor of Ekiti State, former Governor of Cross River State, and former Secretary to the Government of the Federation was Mustafa. The couple, I would say, of the moment, President Benedict Oramah and Mrs. Chinelo Oramah. It is indeed your day. My colleagues in the Federal Executive Council, particularly the Honorable Minister for Health, I think was here earlier, the Honorable Minister for Arts, Culture and Tourism, Honorable Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Honorable Minister of State for Finance, the representative who just spoke so eloquently before me, the representative of the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Honorable Minister for Health, Jenista Magama, Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria. At this point, let me say all other protocols observed. Gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I think it was the compare, Mark, that reminded us health is wealth. By that yardstick, today, with the establishment of the Afri-Exim Bank, Africa Medical Center of Excellence, Nigeria is today healthier and wealthier. And I know we cannot put a figure on health, but at least we do have a figure to play with, because this wonderful edifice cost at least $400 million, mobilized by the private sector effectively. And that's a sign of investment and confidence in the economy. I am grateful for the honor accorded the Federal Republic of Nigeria to have this type of medical center of excellence in our country. It could not come at a better time for Africa to have a hospital that handles different medical situations on the continent. The video we saw was good, but in no way did it do justice. Those of us who are fortunate to go around have seen a marvel of science, of modernity, of medicine. It was simply fantastic. The AMC is a unique initiative of Afri-Exim Bank to transform, in particular, the Federal Capital Territory, where it is located, into a premier medical tourism destination within the continent. But to address the rising burden of non-communicable diseases, and as we know, this is in conjunction, in partnership with King's College Hospital, Lagos, London. This hospital will improve Nigeria's foreign exchange earnings. We have the governor of Central Bank here, and I'm sure that the figure of overseas spending on overseas treatment by Nigerians annually is in the billions. So that is a huge saving for the country. And of course, as others have said, it curbs the exit and exodus of highly skilled medical staff trained expensively by Nigeria. Others have talked about the technicalities. We had Professor K, Professor Gomti, and of course Mr. Diva. So let me just focus on the fact that the AMC plans to establish the largest and most diverse biobank in West Africa, enabling it to attract global and Pan-African partnerships and making it a center of international reference and a source of medical tourism. Let me just mention that as we congratulate AfriExim Bank, a trusted ally in so many initiatives in Africa, and we do have here, and I failed to mention, the private sector, with the elite of the private sector that have been supported and bankrolled to achieve great things by AfriExim Bank, the likes of Mr. Tony Elumelu of S Holdings, the likes of Mr. Wale Tinubu of Oando, and so forth. But Nigeria will boost, this will boost Nigeria's economy and provide one-stop medical care for patients, as we have heard. I commend His Excellency the President for putting in place the enabling environment for this investment. And of course, we congratulate and we salute the courage, the leadership, and the capacity to deliver of President Benedict Oramah, President and Chairman of the Board of AfriExim Bank. And also, congratulations on establishing this esteemed medical center of excellence. Talking of medical centers of excellence, in the 60s and 70s, Nigeria did have centers in the southwest, in the north. They were medical centers of excellence, as Nigeria was on a great trajectory. And the establishment of this Africa Medical Center of Excellence is an example that under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and as was mentioned by His Excellency, the High Commissioner to Nigeria from United Kingdom, Nigeria is once again on the right track. And the establishment of this Center of Excellence is a good example that the renewed Hope agenda is delivering. On that note, I thank you for listening.
Excellency Vice President Shetima, we are very close to the finishing line. I can just see it not so far in the distance, but we have a few very exciting things for you, and I would love to involve you in that. I'm going to ask my young colleagues over there to bring something onto the stage. Bring it onto the stage there. Put it right here in the middle of the stage. I'm not doing any artistic renditions, if that's what you think is going to happen right now. My talents do not extend to that. But over here we have something. Look at this. I wonder what's underneath that. Well, let's find out, actually. Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, I'm actually going to ask for you to help me with this one. I'm going to ask Professor Benedict Oramah, the President of AfriExim Bank, to guide you to come and join me on the stage for this very, very important announcement, Your Excellency. Give him a round of applause. This is our Vice President, a champion of healthcare in this country. Thank you. Now, what are we doing here? This announcement is introducing African Life Sciences Foundation, AFLSF, an endowment fund to support research and development of drugs and interventions of interest to people of African descent. Back in March of 2025, AfCFTA's Board of Directors approved the establishment of the African Life Science Foundation. This foundation, they endorsed a seed grant of $75 million to be dispersed over the next 3 years to the foundation. Amazing, yes? AfCFTA is amazing. The foundation is envisioned as a sustainable mechanism to facilitate access to quality healthcare, strengthen research capacity, and foster cutting-edge research and innovation in life science, particularly in the areas related to neglected diseases that disproportionately affect people of African descent. We want to see more research in things like sickle cell. Through its activities, the foundation aims to significantly enhance health ecosystems across the continent. Your Excellency, Mr. President, can you please unveil what is behind there? Ladies and gentlemen, the African Life Science Foundation and Endowment Fund to support research and development of drugs and intervention for African peoples. Give them a round of applause, please. Where's the photographer? I hope you are capturing this one. Yet another milestone. Wonderful. I don't know if any of you want to mention anything here, but if not, Your Excellency, now I'm going to ask you to gently take your seat one more time because we're going to hear from you in just a moment. But Professor, before you go, actually your work has not finished. Now I'm going to move on to ask you to make your speech. Do you have your speech with you? Do we have his speech? Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for His Excellency Professor Benedict Oramah, President and Chairman of the Board of Directors, AfCFTA.
Thank you very much, Mark. His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, represented by His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, GCON. His Excellency, the Governor here present, Governor Hope, and the Deputy Governor from Nasarawa State, Excellency, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation of Nigeria, Senator Akume, Excellency, the former Vice President of Nigeria, Alhaji Sabo, Honorable Ministers here present, Your Excellencies, former governors, and former ministers here present, the former Secretary of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Boss Mustafa, who played a critical role in getting this project started, ambassadors here present, the Governor of the Central Bank, my dear brother Wankele Mene, Secretary General of the AfCFTA, also Tajudeen, representing dear brother Kaseya, Director General of the Africa Centers for Disease Control, the representative of the President of Tanzania, who graciously joined us here. We thank you for coming. Members of the Board of Directors of the MCE and the executives, members of the Board of Directors of AfCFTA and the executives of AfCFTA, my dear wife, Chinelo, who made huge sacrifices, suggestions, and emotional investments into the MC initiative, never allowed me to sleep until we got it done. My family and my friends who supported even during the difficult periods that led to this project. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and let me say, I would like to start on existing protocols. I know there are so many people that are here that I not mention, the Director General of Customs, and quite a few people. But please, for the sake of time, let me just start on existing protocol. A few years ago, I woke up to a frantic early morning call from a friend of mine based here in Nigeria. He told me that his sister had fallen seriously ill and was hospitalized in her home state, Anambra. He said that it was a heart condition that severely constrained her breathing. She needed oxygen. But the challenge was that the hospital only had a rather rudimentary oxygen equipment, mere canisters. Enquiries had not revealed a better hospital to take his sister to, and he wanted my help. A few days later, I called to update him on my own inquiries and to check up on the situation, only to be told that the woman had died. In my shock, my head swelled with countless what-ifs. What if she had the right oxygen equipment? What if she had access to a specialist cardiologist? What if there was an intensive care facility nearby? What if she had access to a comprehensive diagnostic facility early on? I'm sure that many of us gathered here from different parts of Africa who have had somewhat similar experiences as my friends with varying degrees of outcomes. But we are so deeply religious that fatalism has become a universal painkiller. It is usually the case that when we are healthy and moving about our businesses, we talk about death, but we never consider that we can die. It is not until one experiences a close call, a near-death experience, that one begins to realize that death is a universal phenomenon, the destination for all mortals. And when we start to realize that, we begin to think differently about life, about our role in it, about the urgency to make death a remote possibility except when it becomes inevitable. We begin to wean ourselves from the debilitating fatalism I just spoke about. In 2013, I had my own close call. When I became seriously ill, I was evacuated to King's College Hospital in London, where a frantic battle to save my life ensued. Being here today is a testament to the power of cutting-edge medical research, clinical knowledge, and a solid healthcare ecosystem. The event we are witnessing, marking today, after that ordeal, is proof that society is better off saving lives than burying its dead, and that it is a living person, that can contribute to development and social transformation. The almost one year I spent at the King's College Hospital battling my condition remains to date the most challenging phase of my life. Yet it proved the most revealing to me, consistent with the cliche, experience is the best teacher. My experience taught me some important lessons about life and elevated my appreciation of life's higher purpose. As I went through the difficulties and began to see the possibilities of survival, even if conveyed to me in probabilistic terms, I know that Professor Mufti told me at a point you have 85% chance of survival. But that was for me, very reassuring, because I thought I didn't have any chance when I came. When I began to realize, I began to ponder, to ask again many what-if kind of questions. What if I was not a staff of Afreximbank? How could I have afforded the hundreds of thousands of pounds sterling for the treatment I received? What if I had the money but no visa to facilitate expeditious evacuation to the UK? What if there was no King's College Hospital with the rich pool of diagnostic, medical equipment and clinical expertise? What if people did not invest the research that generated the new knowledge, protocols, and drugs used for my treatment? What if there were no systems that guaranteed the gallons of blood that I received? In the midst of these thoughts, I concluded that the greatest tribute I could pay to all those who contributed in saving my life, the Almighty God, my dear wife Chinelo, Afreximbank and my colleagues, Daring, my friends, you all know who you are, how you cared, Professor Ghulam Mufti and his able colleagues at King's College, would be to contribute in any way I could in creating quality healthcare infrastructure and services in Africa, so that those coming after us would not have to ask the kind of questions I was asking. I concluded that one of the major contributions I could make to Africa would be to help Afreximbank to deliver on its health and medical strategy in every way I could. It is important to point out to Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that we perhaps would not have moved from mere thoughts to action, but from my fortunate conversation with Professor Ghulam Mufti during one of his world rounds, during which we found the commonality of purpose of this subject and the way to deliver on that purpose. Our shared aspirations would have remained a mere wish, castle in the air, had it not been that I was an executive of Afreximbank, an institution that had developed and documented a health and medical tourism strategy that it was committed to delivering on. We also clearly made progress because Professor Mufti had a formidable stature at King's College. So with the stars aligned, 12 years after that life-threatening experience, and about 3 years after commencement of construction of this project, the African Medical Center of Excellence opens its doors here in Abuja. For me personally, it is like moving from a valley of despair and hopelessness to a mountain peak of hope and optimism. I'm sure that you can now appreciate why our vision for the African Medical Center of Excellence is not just to provide top-notch healthcare, but also serve as a catalyst for the transformation of the African health sector. We want this AMC and 2 or 3 others that will follow in other parts of Africa to make a bold statement to the world that Africa is finally taking its destiny in its hands in terms of healthcare sovereignty and contributions in setting global healthcare standards. I do not want to bore you with the capabilities of this hospital as you have seen them in the video. However, I will dwell on the big picture, the vision. And that big picture is that we want this initiative to lead in providing solutions to the African healthcare problems, namely the challenge of inadequate healthcare infrastructure, diagnostic facilities, and the billions of US dollars being expended in outbound medical tourism. And also to deal with the very limited research on diseases of interest to people of African descent. That's why we invested in building a cyclotron plant just over there as part of the project, which has an 18 MeV proton capacity and which would supply very scarce radioactive isotopes for comprehensive cancer diagnosis and treatment to Nigeria and the rest of West and Central Africa. With the capability to produce radiopharmaceuticals, the cyclotron plant will also support the AMCE's ambition to participate in cutting-edge research, including developing new diagnostic agents and personalized treatment approaches, fostering innovation in medical science within Nigeria and the region. The AMCE will also serve as the largest and most diverse biobank in West Africa, enabling it to attract global and Pan-African partnership. And because we expect the AMCE to serve as a major domestic and international medical tourism destination, projected to attract over 350,000 patients over the next 5 years, we have committed to build and have commenced the development of long-stay residential facilities, doctors' clinics, research facilities, and also accommodation for those who will be working here, just over there, and the project has started at the cost of $150 million. In addition, we have also commenced steps to establish a medical and nursing school in partnership with King's College London. And I say thank you to all the people, the big delegation from King's who are here. We expect this to be the first ever campus of the College of Medicine and Nursing of King's College London in Africa. Planned investments in this place, in this facility, in this campus is just under $1 billion, of which $300 million have been spent and another $150 million is being spent. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is the scale of investment we need to make to turn things around in Africa. This is the scale of investments we need to make to ensure that we bring medical tourism back and make Abuja the center, the hub for medical tourism on the continent, and attract other people even from as far as the United States. MC is the center that we hope will drive renewed emphasis on research in diseases of health interest to people of African descent. Many diseases affect Africans for which there are no affordable cures because no investments are channeled into researching them. We have historically sat back and waited for others to do research for things that concern us. The AMCE has been set up to try to reverse that. An example is sickle cell anemia, which affects 2 to 3% of Nigerians and about 15 million Africans worldwide. It is a collective responsibility to begin to change the course of that disease. And in today's world, the pharmaceutical industry is rapidly shifting to biologics or biopharmaceuticals, driven by advancements in biotechnology, which have made biologics more cost-effective and accessible. Biologics are gaining popularity due to their effectiveness in treating complex diseases and their ability to target specific immune system components. Yet, Africans are also at the periphery because the drugs are hardly tried on the continent on our people. As a result, these drugs do not work as effectively for Africans as they do for others. Working through the AMCE and other initiatives, AfCFTA had decided to contribute to reversing the situation. That is why the AMCE has also been developed to become a center for cutting-edge research in medicine. In partnership with King's College Hospital, CHRISIS, University of Wisconsin Teaching Hospital, Novartis, Nigerian and African universities, and many others. The MCE plans to lead research into the diseases that uniquely affect African people. Indeed, it is our aspiration that the MCE will soon emerge as the global center for sickle cell research. And working with researchers at King's College London and Novartis, Switzerland, we aim to find an affordable cure for sickle cell here in Abuja within 5 to 7 years. Since our Afreximbank brand is known for matching words with action, the bank has launched the African Life Sciences Foundation to act as the vehicle for mobilizing appropriate risk capital to drive the research efforts. You saw already the launch. That the Life Sciences Foundation is supported by an endowment fund that we want to seed with $600 million, of which our Afreximbank has already donated $75 million. We hope that everybody here, the government, whether from Africa or outside of Africa, high net worth individuals, corporations, and others will contribute to this effort. Because it's through this kind of investments that we will begin to change the course of diseases on the continent. And using that, the endowment fund, we also hope to support indigent people to access the services of the African Medical Center of Excellence. And just today I was talking with the Health Commission of the AfCFTA, and I understand that there are 20 patients that need help. And I'm sure that with this, we should be able to work with the AfCFTA Health Commission to begin to resolve those cases and others. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our President has taken even more consequential steps in fostering an ecosystem that underpins research and innovation in the life sciences. Towards that end, our Afreximbank Group has launched venture capital investments in drugs that are under development and near market entry and commercialization. Why is it that there are no drugs, major drugs, for which Africans hold the IP? The Chinese started making this investment just a few years ago, and today they are almost leading in that field. Today we will be signing the first investment we will be making in this area with Mina Therapeutics. In that investment, our Import Equity Fund, FEDA, will join leading co-investors in new drugs in betting on the outcome of a drug development effort which is now under human trials. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, today's event is not about sloganeering and generalizations. I thought I should use my remarks to set out why we are here and what we have achieved, and to galvanize everyone to commit to working with us to transform our health systems. The MCE, Africa takes the destiny in its hands. And I would like to thank all those who, instead of being drained outside of Africa, are being drained back into Africa. We thank the about 200 staff, doctors, consultants from all over the world, especially from Africa, from Nigeria, who have joined us to staff the MCE. And we look forward to also getting many of the doctors and specialists come here to provide services. In closing, let me take the opportunity to express our heartfelt appreciation to individuals who contributed to the development and delivery of this project. We express our profound gratitude to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his able government for the unwavering commitment and support in delivering this project. I would like to put on record President Tinubu's swift response to resolving the challenges brought to his attention. It is thanks to his interventions that we are opening this hospital today. I remember saw President Tinubu on January 1 raised many important issues. I was expecting it to be resolved in 2-3 months. By the time I got back to Cairo, my staff told me that those things were already being done. So we are really very grateful. We thank His Excellency Kashim Shettima, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for his trust and confidence in the work of the bank generally, not just this hospital, in many ways. And to me personally, you are really a dear brother, Vice President. And being here to grace the commissioning of this project, notwithstanding that the event fell on an important Muslim holiday, is to me very touching and remarkable, and I thank you. We thank the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, the Honorable Coordinating Minister of Economy and Finance, Wale Edun, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Nyesom Wike, the Honorable Coordinating Minister of Health and Special Services, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs of Nigeria, Yusuf Batwatuga, the Honorable Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, the leadership of the Federal Capital Development Authority, the Attorney General, Chief Lateef Olasukomi Afobemi, the Chief of Staff to the President of Nigeria, that's Honorable Femi Odebiamila, the Chief of Staff to the Vice President, and other government officials and agencies, including the Nigerian Customs, especially the Controller, my dear schoolmate, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, a great effort. The Nigerian Immigration Service, the Nigerian Nuclear Regulatory Authority, the Health Services and Environment Secretariat, AfCFTA Abuja Energy Distribution Company, the AfCFTA Health Commission, and many others who in diverse ways accorded the bank and the project managers the vital support. We are also indebted to the former government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria under the leadership of His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari for their strong support. His government provided the land and laid the foundation through regulatory and policy support, which facilitated the commencement of the project. We also thank his officials, including Professor Ibrahim Abola Gambari, the Chief of Staff of the former President, Dr. Geoffrey Onyama, the former Minister of Foreign Affairs, the former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, the former Ministers of Health, and also Stella Maduka and Gabriel Aduda, who are pivotal officials at that time who worked with us to make sure that this project got started. We are most grateful to Professor Shitij Kapu, President of King's College London, Sir David Behan, Chairman of the Board of King's College Hospital London, Professor Clive K, Chief Executive King's College Hospital London, Professor Gula Mufti and the entire leadership of King's College Hospital London for the firm technical support that enabled us to make the right decisions throughout the development phase of the project. We'll be counting on them as we progress with this. Special thanks to the rest of our team, the team of our clinical and medical advisors, Professor Onitilo, Dr. Anwar Ohag, and Dr. Tabu Azubike, for all the effort. For the design of this state-of-the-art hospital, we sought the best in the industry globally. We acknowledge and thank the consortium of Perkins and Will and DASA for an excellent design work. And for the construction, we were supported by a solid duo of Kappa Dabato and NIDA, who again delivered this magnificent edifice alongside our other project managers, Bove Ross and Courtney Michael. They delivered within budget and within time. The medical equipment suppliers also deserve special thanks for an excellent job under tough circumstances. Our appreciation also goes to members of the Board of Directors of the AMCE who are here, and of course the management. Special thanks are also due to our prospective partner investors, namely NNPC Limited and Bank of Industry Nigeria. We look forward to welcoming you so that we can together fully expand the opportunities this facility offers. We do also recognize the support provided by Ambassador Bello Hussein Kazaure, Mr. Femi Otedola, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, Mr. Tony Elumelu, Mr. Wale Tinubu, Dr. David Atuo, Mrs. Ngozi Azodo, Mrs. Eva Omoteshe, and many others. I will not be able to name here, but if I don't call your name, does not mean we do not recognize the contributions. To the board of directors of our president, I said to you on this day that you have continued to touch the lives of Africans in diverse ways. With this project, you give them hope to better healthcare and hope of longer lives. The continent will forever be indebted to you. Allow me to also extend my profound appreciation to Mrs. Oluwanti Doherty and her team at our Bank. Well, the clapping shows it. Through their unwavering commitment to the bank and Africa oversaw the development of this transformative healthcare infrastructure. Appreciation also goes to the executive, my colleagues, and all the others who may not have worked directly, but who were behind Oluwanti and her team and made sure that we were able to do this very, very efficiently. I will also not forget to mention my predecessor, Mr. Jean-Louis Ekra, who supported the idea of this project once it was brought to him as I came out of hospital. I came out of hospital. When I mentioned it to him, I thought he would say maybe he's still recovering and was not thinking properly, but he embraced it, not only embraced it, began to lead the effort that made it possible for us to be here today. So thank you, President, for coming also. And thanks to our pioneer President, Mr. Dodu, without whose hard work the bank would not have even emerged in the first place. So we thank you for being here with us. Last but not the least, I thank my dear wife Chidelo and my entire family for the unflinching support and encouragement that served as a source of energy that helped drive the projects we are celebrating today. I'm certain that there are several other actors whose contributions ensure the success of this project. Your role was never in doubt, and we thank you for helping to deliver on our shared commitment to our people, our continent. And I look forward to your using this service if you ever have to use it. And I hope that it serves you well if you ever do use it. Thank you very much.
Now, as Professor Oramah nears the close of his remarkable tenure at the head of Bank, this center stands tall as part of his lasting legacy, a powerful reminder of what's possible when vision meets purpose. So the one person he couldn't thank, let us thank. Please join me in giving a warm round of applause to the phenomenon that is Professor Benedict Oke Oramah. Now, I promise Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, don't get up yet, because I was supposed to introduce you, and I was really looking forward to telling everybody of the groundbreaking free and maternal care program that you did as governor, that covered every childbirth expense, even C-sections, and made sure that new mothers received food packs as well. You also, do you know that over 4,000 babies were safely delivered in just 8 months? I also wanted to mention that 60 young women that you sent abroad to study medicine, 58 came back. Maybe a few of them can be in this hospital. And now, as a vice president, I also wanted to tell everybody that you continue to champion bold reforms. You're leading the charge for private sector investment and supporting the ambitious goal of building 8,800 new primary healthcare centers across Nigeria. But I didn't have the time to tell them, I'm sorry. And they found someone much better to introduce you. So I'm going to call him on the stage. He too plays a pivotal role in advancing national development. He's got a strong commitment to public service. He supports key initiatives in healthcare reforms. I want you to give a warm round of applause to His Excellency Senator George Akume, CON, Secretary of the Government of the Federation of Nigeria.
The President of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, ably represented by our dear Vice President, His Excellency Kashim Shettima GCON, His Excellency the Governor of Imo State and Chairman Progressive Governors Forum, the former Vice President Namandis Sambo, His Excellency President Oramah, accompanied by his dear wife, the Minister of Health, Tanzania, members of the Federal Executive Council, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, captains of industry, former governors, senators, former SGF, Bots Mustafa, our foreign partners, Your Royal Highnesses, distinguished invited guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, history is being celebrated here in Abuja, Nigeria, Sahelian Africa, and Africa. Credit for this occasion must go to our dear son, His Excellency President Oramah, and his partners for their bold and imaginative effort to create this history. Provision of care of this magnitude has been a problem for some time in Nigeria. This explains why, like Andrew, many Nigerian doctors ran away overseas. In year 2002, in faraway Jamaica, at Montego Bay, which is a seaside resort, I met Ambassador Andrew Young. And he said, as at that time, there were over 20,000 medical consultants of Nigerian origin who were working in U.S. medical facilities. Maybe we wouldn't blame them. But now, many may have to rethink and return home because of this kind of facility, which gives them the opportunity to express themselves maximally and efficiently in the healthcare delivery system. These are my few remarks. I've been asked to introduce a man that needs no introduction, a man I have known for over 20 years, a man who has also been governor, senator, and a man who was serving as governor, brought a lot of transformation to the good people of Borno State. I love health, and that explains why when I was governor, I also established a teaching hospital, a medical school, and a teaching hospital, believing that not every indigenous of Benue was sufficiently rich to travel abroad for higher medical attention. It is my honor and privilege to therefore invite His Excellency, the Vice President, to deliver the President address. The Vice President.
Please, you can kindly sit down, please. The elder statesman, former Vice President, Architect Mohammed Namadi Sambo, GCON, the President and Chairman, Board of Directors of African Export-Import Bank, my brother, Professor Benedict Okechukwu Oramah, and his lovely wife, Chinelo. My very good friend, the hope of the nation, His Excellency Hope Uzodinma, Chairman, Progressive Governors Forum and Governor of Imo State, His Excellency Dr. Emmanuel Akabe, Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, a card with 9 lives, Senator George Akume. I would like to weaponize the Honorable Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, to recognize and appreciate all my colleagues in the Federal Executive Council. Honorable Janista J. Magama, Minister of Health, United Republic of Tanzania, Mr. Olayemi Cardoso, Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, my very good friend, the British High Court of Nigeria, the cerebral Mr. Richard Montgomery. I would like to weaponize you to recognize and appreciate all members of the diplomatic corps. And Professor of Hemato-Oncology, King's College London, Professor Ghulam Mufti, your speech was very inspirational. It was a moving speech right from the heart. And your very dear wife. Former governors of Ekiti and Cross River State, we call him JFK. Not the American one, but our own version, John Kayode Fayemi and Mr. Donald Duke. Former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Gida Mustafa. Secretary General African Continental Free Trade Area, Mr. Wamkele Mene. Heads of federal government agencies and senior government officials present here. Captains of industry, I saw Mr. Wale Tinubu and Catherine Uju. And of course, Toyin Saraki, my very good sister. The management, staff, and senior officials of the African Medical Center of Excellence, development partners, honored guests, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. There are moments in the life of a nation that seem to echo beyond borders and beyond time. Today is one of such moments. We are not just here to unveil a structure of steel and bricks. We gather to unveil our collective refusal to accept medical vulnerability as our destiny. And I am honored to share with you the joy of this day. The African Medical Center of Excellence is a promise of the continent. What we gather to witness is a statement that we are prepared to compete with the best medical services around the world. So I must pay tribute to our President Bank and his visionary President, Professor Benedict Okechukwu Oramah, foreseeing what many dared not to dream. I salute the partnership with King's College Hospital and the brilliant minds behind this medical renaissance. This is what becomes possible when institutions rise to African challenges with African solutions. We are not gathered here because we lack hospitals. Far from it. We are here because the pursuit of excellence is endless. We are gathered because we refuse to accept mediocrity as our destiny. When we took office 2 years ago, we set out to break the cycle of dysfunction in our health care system. Mr. President signed an executive order to unlock the healthcare value chain, making room for local manufacturers, domestic innovators, and private sector partners like you. The President also launched the presidential initiative to unlock the healthcare value chain, to intensify pharmaceutical production, regulatory systems, and access to diagnosis. But our efforts did not end there. In December 2023, we launched the Nigerian Health Sector Renewal Investment Initiative. That initiative secured over $2.2 billion in health sector commitments with clear, measurable targets. To renovate over 17,000 primary health centers, train 120,000 frontline health workers, and double health insurance coverage within 3 years. These are not aspirations. These are milestones already in motion. We believe that no innovation or intervention in our health sector will endure unless we build the systems that sustain them. Through the renewed Hope Infrastructure Development Fund, we are investing in the roads, power, and connectivity that breathe life into health facilities. Because a world-class hospital cannot function on a dirt road, and no MRI machine works without stable electricity. So the African Center of Excellence could not have come at a better time. It will benefit from the investments and reforms we have championed. And it is also a reminder that the ultimate measure of a functional nation is the synergy between the government and private sector players to co-create solutions. The pace you are here to set shall serve as a template for those who truly seek excellence in their service delivery, even beyond the health sector. I am also proud that Nigeria hosts the largest stem cell laboratory now in West Africa, located within this center. With your planned medical and nursing school on this campus, and with partners ranging from King's College London to the University of Wisconsin, you are laying the foundation for a new generation of African medical specialists. Specialists who will no longer be exported, but empowered at home, from Japa to Japada. And the Chief Nursing Officer of this hospital, Mrs. Gloria Roran, is a testimony to this beautiful initiative. I assure you that the present administration will continue to support this initiative, not as a charity, but as a strategy. We are committed to seeing this ecosystem grow to include a teaching hospital, a nursing school, and residencies for medical staff. Because this is not just a place to treat the sick. It is a place to... Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, nations do not rise by miracle. They rise by vision and by sacrifice. I want to assure this esteemed gathering that our President is determined to redefine the meaning and concept of modern governance. In the past 2 years, he had the courage and conviction to take far-reaching decisions that Nigerians yet unborn, in the fullness of time, will come to celebrate and appreciate him. So once again, I must commend AfriExim Bank and my brother, Professor Oramah, King's College Hospital, and all partners who have made this day possible. And to every young student who may one day walk these halls in a white coat, I say, remember the task upon you. Thank you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless the United Republic of Tanzania. And God bless the continent of Africa.
And God bless you, sir. You are truly an inspiration of hope and health for us all. I'm going to ask you to stay on the stage and for our colleagues to remove this just for a second. So if you can quickly remove the podium. Then I'm going to invite President Oramah just to join your two brothers in arms, in health arms, just to take the obligatory photo. I hope my photographers are standing by. I will step away. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. What a wonderful photo. Amazing stuff. You inspire. Your vision and commitment inspires us all. Thank you for being true champions. Now, I will now call on former Vice President and the SGF and spouses to come and join for a family photo. Former Vice President, governors, ministers, and also the partners NNPC and Bank of Industry. Please join us. Deputy governors, EVPs, Ms. Oluronti, please join us. You worked hard for this. You said, what did you say? You said it was like a 4-year pregnancy or something like that. So come over. Afrexim Bank Board, AMCE Board, AMCE CEO, and of course our brothers from London, King's College, please join us. The King's College group, please join us here. Professor Mufti, please, you have to join. Professor Mufti, the surgeon who was Prof's surgeon, and so some people can step down here. If we step forward, we can use yes, we can stand here. Wonderful. Yes. The national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. Now we will allow His Excellency to vacate, but please stay at your chairs. Do not move, please, because the program continues. The program continues after this. So allow him, please, to leave, and please stay. There's not much more to go. There's just a few signings and a cultural performance that will blow your mind. But for now, please allow His Excellency to vacate the venue.